All right. Hello, everybody. Here is your lesson for Chapter 4, Lesson 2. We just finished graphing equations in slope-intercept form, and this lesson kind of continues with that. Now we're going to write those equations. All right, so obviously with slope-intercept form, the two things that you need, if you're given a slope and a point, other than the y-intercept, there's still a way to do that. Okay, there's basically two steps. You have to find the slope or get the slope. Usually they give it to you. Take a look at this example. It gives you, it says write an equation of a line that passes through a point. So remember, that is an x and a y that will work in your equation. So in your equation, y equals mx plus b, what we're going to do is obviously put 1/4 in for m because that is your slope. But here's what else we're going to do. We're going to put this variable, this coefficient, this coordinate in for x and this coordinate in for y, so that the only thing we're missing is b, your y-intercept. And when we do that, let's see, 2 equals 1/4 times -1 plus b. Now, as ugly as it's going to seem, we can actually solve that equation for b because it's our only unknown. So here it is. We've got 2 equals -1/4 plus b, and we'd add 1/4. And so we can just leave it as 2 1/4 equals b, or if you would prefer to write it as an improper fraction, that would be 9/4 equals b. And now that we have the slope and the y-intercept, you just write it. So y equals 1/4 x, -1/4 x plus 9/4, or y equals -1/4 x plus 2 1/4, and there it is. Okay, that's if you're given the slope and one other point. Obviously, if you're given the y-intercept, you just plug it in for b. Okay, so let's move on. In example 2, they don't give you the slope, all right, but what they do give you is 2 equations. So a couple more steps, actually just one. First, you have to find the slope. So using your slope formula, the y minus y, so find the slope, which is going to be -7 minus 5 over -2 minus 1, which is -12 over -3, and that reduces to a +4, so very nice. Now we can use either one of those. It really doesn't matter. I try to stay away from the negatives, but you can use either one, and I'll show you. They're both going to give you the same y-intercept. So I'm going to use the 1/5. So 1/5, and our slope is 4. So I'm going to put it into our equation, y equals mx plus b. Obviously, slope goes here. 5 is going to be the y. So I've got 5 equals 4 times 1 plus b. Well, that's 5 equals 4 plus b, so -4, and b is 1. Fantastic. So my y-intercept is 1, my slope is 4, so let's write our equation. Y equals 4x plus 1, slope-intercept form. All right, let's roll that baby over and do a couple more. All right, we're going to get some terminology here. If you have a condition that your solution must satisfy, they call that a constraint. It just means you're constrained. You have to follow that condition. So equations can be viewed as a constraint. The solutions means they have to meet those constraints. They have to meet the requirements of the equation. Okay, you can use linear equations to make predictions about values that are like really, really large or very, very small, and you can't maybe see it on your graph immediately. That's called linear exploration. No, extrapolation. That's whatever. Okay, so just making predictions. All right, so take a look at this word problem. Okay, it says use slope-intercept form, and example 4, make a prediction. So first, in 1975, the world record for 1 mile run was 3 minutes and 51 seconds. In 1999, the world record was approximately 3 minutes and 43 seconds. So it got quicker, less time. Write a linear equation that could be used to estimate the world record time in seconds for any year after 1975. Now, this is actually a pretty tough problem because we've got units and all sorts of stuff. So what I am going to do is, instead of 3 minutes and 51 seconds, 3 minutes 43 seconds, I'm going to change that all to 1 unit. So I'm going to change it all to seconds. Okay, so in 1975, it is 3 minutes and 51 seconds. So 3 minutes is 180 seconds plus another 51 seconds. Okay, so doing some math quickly in my head and looking it up on my old sheet here. That is approximately 231 seconds. So 231 seconds. And then in 99, it's going to be 200 and let's see, what is it? So 3 minutes. Let me show you what I'm doing here. So 3 minutes 51 seconds. I'm going to take 3 times 60. So that's 180 seconds plus 51 seconds. So 231 seconds. All right, so obviously then if it's only 43 seconds, that's going to be 180 plus 43, which is 223 seconds in 1999. So 223 seconds. Okay, so if I'm finding my slope, kind of goofy here, slope is a rate of change. So how much is it changing? Well, it is going from 223 minus 231 over 99 minus 75. You're probably thinking, what is she doing? We're going to get a negative number. Well, yes, because our time is decreasing. So our slope, believe it or not, is actually a negative number. It's decreasing by 8 seconds in a matter of how many years? Let's see, it looks like 24 years, right? Now that is not going to be super pretty, but it does reduce to negative 1/3 as our slope. Now we can pick either one of our ordered pairs, except, do you know what? If we read this, it says predict any year after 1975. In other words, in 1975, this is our 0. This is our starting point. So that's our y-intercept, believe it or not. So our equation is y equals negative 1/3 x plus 231, because 231 is the time at 0, because we're starting at 1975. So there's our equation. Now we can find out what's the record time going to be in 2008, which, if I'm talking about how many years after 1975 is 2008. So 2008 minus 1975, that is going to be 33 years later. So remember, X stands for years after 1975. So we're going to predict 1/3 times 33 plus negative 1/3 times 33, 231, because that's where they started in 1975. And so we get negative 11 plus 231, which means it will be exactly 220 seconds okay, which if you're changing back to minutes is 3 minutes. Excuse me, not 3 minutes. That would not be very fast. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds in 2008. All right, like I said, that was a tough one. Okay, so let's go to one that's a little less confusing. Let's try this word problem down here. During 1 year, Max's cost for self-serve regular gasoline was $3.20 on the 1st of June, and June is the 6th month. $3.42 on the 1st of July, which is the 7th month. Write a linear equation to predict Max's cost of gasoline the first of any month during the year, using 1 to represent January. So believe it or not, they gave us 2 ordered pairs because write an equation to predict the cost. In other words, cost is Y. So in June, the 6th month, the cost is $3.20. That's 1 ordered pair. In July, the 7th month, the cost is $3.42. So that's our 2 ordered pairs that we're going to use to find the slope. Okay, so the slope, obviously change in Y, you maybe don't need to do that, but let's go. 342 minus 320 over 7 minus 6. So we've got 22 cents in a matter of 1 month. Now, remember how I talked about decimals? I don't like to use decimals unless they give me decimals or we're talking money. So we are talking money here. So it's increasing by approximately 22 cents per month. So we need to find out what our y-intercept is. So it doesn't matter which one of these you use. Here's our slope. So y equals 0.22x plus b. Let's plug one of these in. So 320 equals 0.22x. Oops, excuse me, 22, and x in this case is 6 plus b. All right, so that's $3.20 equals $1.32, because that's what 22 cents times 6 is, plus b. When we subtract the 132 to solve for our y-intercept, it's going to be $1.88. That's our b. So our slope-intercept form, y equals 0.22x, that was our slope, plus 188 for b. There's our equation. Okay, let's move on. Down here it says, on average, Max uses 25 gallons of gasoline per month. He budgeted $100 for gasoline in October. Use the equations from above to predict if Max will have to add to his budget. Okay, so he predicted 100 gallons of gasoline in October. All right, so in October, which is the 10th month, all right, we are going to plug in 10 to our equation. So the cost for a gallon of gasoline in October, using our equation, is going to be, let's see, here's $2.20 plus $1.88. Oops, so add them together. $4.08. Whew, that's super high, but it happens using this equation. So now they said he uses 25 gallons of gas every month. Well, if in October it costs $4.08 per gallon, okay, well, what is that going to cost? So $4.08 times 25 gallons is going to be, use your calculator if you need to, according to my calculations, $102. He budgeted $100. So is he going to have, what will he have to add? He will have to add $2 to his budget for October, because he only had $100. Okay, so writing equations, you need your slope and your y-intercept. If they give them to you, that's great, but if they don't, you will have to use the equation to calculate your y-intercept. Hopefully this is good enough for you. You can always ask me questions, and you will have your orange worksheets to work on this. Good luck.